Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Andy. We're continuing now on this FIFA Street, Rule the Street mode. We're on to episode number, can't remember, but what I do know is that there are 4 episodes left. So we've got 2 episodes, part 1 and 2 of Barcelona, and then we're going to be finishing off with London. So let's get on with it. Let's start on with part 1 of Barcelona. So in the last episode, we completed the Rule the Street mode for Mexico City. So we're now going to move on to obviously Barcelona. So this is going to be the first time we're going to play on this arena, if you want to call it that. And the team that's going to play on it is going to be, let's go for Lampard. Let's start with Lampard. Let's play a Kocha, why not? Let's see what delights that this has to bring. So we've got Paul Robinson. Who else are we up against? Don't know. Let's go with it. So yeah, so we haven't played in Barcelona yet, or Barcelona as I have been calling it throughout the series. So I don't know what this arena's going to look like. I think it's got some kind of Tuscan feel to it, I would imagine. And by that I don't mean it's made of ivory. But I could be wrong. I guess we're going to find out. I have to say, I don't remember it looking like this when I played on this game previously. In fact, I can't remember this at all, although that's a good start. Well done, Frank. Now, if you're new to the series, first of all, I might do it again. I haven't decided yet. Second of all, the way the series has been working up to this point, so we're doing the Rule the Street mode on FIFA Street. Obviously, there's the game at FIFA Street. Oh, they've equalised. Is that James Milner? No, it's Roberto Ayala. It's definitely not James Milner. In fact, I think when this game came out, James Milner would have been about 15. So certainly isn't James Milner. But of course, defenders. If you are new to the series, you'll not know that every time I concede a goal, it seems to be to a defender. You won't know that piece of information. Anyway, yes, just a reminder what we're doing. So we're doing the Rule the Street mode on FIFA Street. But in addition to just completing the Rule the Street tournaments, we're also getting 100% completion. So we're having to do 7 friendlies in each of the cities that we visit, and then the Rule the Street tournament. So we're 80% of the way through the game at the minute. So by the end of this episode, we'll be 85% of the way through. Yeah, so the way we're doing that, what I've just said. So in part 1 of a video, part 1 of a series, part 1 of a city, I should say. This is going really well so far. So in part 1, we do 4 friendlies. We then sign a new player. And then in part 2, we do the final 3 friendlies. We sign a new player. And then we do the Rule the Street tournament. So part 2, generally longer than part 1, because obviously we're playing more matches. Just a reminder as well, or if you don't know, the friendly matches are first to 5 goals. As are the matches where we unlock a player. The tournament matches, the Rule the Street matches. The semi-final and quarter-finals, not in that order, are 3 minutes a half. The final is 5 minutes a half, irrespective of what the score is. So we could be 12-0 up after 2 minutes, and the game would still go on for the amount of time. For some reason, Casillas decided to just not come out and collect the ball. What a complete mess that was. So yeah, so anyway, that's the quick catch-up. So you on to the 9th city, which means this is episode 17, which I should have said in the introduction, but I completely botched the introduction. More than I normally do. So 17, so I said 4 episodes to go, including this one. So we'll be 20 episodes down, and then this series will be done. It has been a bit of a slog, I have to say, but I think we've had a bit of fun along the way. Haven't played this game for a while, so it's been a while since I met you, or whatever that song is. It's been a while since I last recorded a video, so hopefully a little bit rejuvenated. 4 minutes into this episode here, we're 3-1 up. We've got a game breaker as well, so that's basically, I would say it basically means we're 4-1 up, but given our, look at the pace there of me. Given the penchant for, is it penchant or penchant? Does it depend where you're from? I always thought it was penchant, even though that sounds a bit kind of pretentious. Anyway, yeah, given our whatever that word is, penchant, I don't know, for wasting game breaks, it's not a guarantee, as I get my first goal of the episode. So the long-haired loser in gold shoes is me. So again, if you don't know about this game, you have to create yourself, and then you earn points to be able to improve your stats. I've actually already maxed my stats out, so I can't possibly get any better, which is nice. I say I quite like this little trio. Me, Lampard and JJ. Not bothered with the game breaker yet. I feel like I should, just to get this match over with. Paul Robinson's not been the strongest adversary we've ever faced. Should find the top corner and then end this episode, or end this match I should say. I need to stop getting match, episode, series and part mixed up. We'll actually figure out what I'm saying at some point. What we're going to do though is that's the end of the match, so we're 5-1 victors, nice and straightforward. So a nice gentle start there. To our time in Barcelona. No, I don't want to save the game. Now I've got some more rep points. I don't even get better than Maestro, to be honest with you. Anyway, now next match is against Technique. What a great name for a football team. So we're going to stick with the same team that just played, I think. So we'll go Lampard and a Kocher, but we'll pick them in a different order because that will make a massive amount of difference, of course. Okay, so who are we up against? It looks like Ayala again. Was he the 40? I don't know. I don't know who the players are. Is 60 Lucio, the one next to the goalkeeper? I don't know who the goalkeeper is. Let's go with it. Let's find out. Oh dear. Of course, Lampard played in Barcelona a few times. Back in the mid-noughties. Well, that was a good effort. Back in the mid-noughties, those I don't want to say legendary or epic because that's just nonsense. But those rivalries with Barcelona, the Rijkaard and Mourinho sort of time. Remember Lampard scored a fantastic goal in the. I'm sure he scored a fantastic lob in the new camp. It was similar to a goal he scored against. Oh, it's Ricardo. That's interesting. And he's got no gloves on. That's good attention to detail, I have to say there. Yeah, I remember him scoring a fantastic goal in the new camp. He did like a byline chip. It was unbelievable. I think it was. I think Victor Valdez was the Barca keeper at the time. I think that was the same match that they accused Anders Frisk of Frank Rijkaard going to see Anders Frisk at the half time. I think that was the same game. I think they won 2-1 Barcelona. Maxi Lopez, what happened to him? Got the winning goal, I believe. Remember correctly? I have to say, at the time of recording this, I don't want to go too much into this because by the time this video gets onto YouTube, this is probably going to be long gone. And I don't really. I've got a few opinions that probably won't be very popular, which I just can't be bothered with. If anyone does care enough what I think, I can't bother with what people might. I can't bother with what people might think. But at the time of recording this, the whole European Super League stuff's kind of kicking off, and when I say I've got an opinion that's not very popular, I'm not saying I'm in favour of it or I'm not in favour. All I'm saying is okay. This is basically what I'm saying about the Super League is. There's bigger problems in the world and in football than that, and yet for some reason everyone's losing their mind about it. But anyway, that's by the by. But yeah, one thing that has seemed to have been a common thread of basically teams being lambasted for being bothered about money and nothing else. Even though the current competitions that we've got, that's what people are bothered about. But anyway, that's by the by. The Champions League used to be on, well, in England, I think, certainly, I mean, I can only speak for England because that's where I live, but the Champions League used to be on free TV, so it used to be on a channel that you don't have to pay to watch. Now it's on a channel that you have to pay to watch, and I have to say that there was something really cool about, I mean, at the time when the Lampard stuff that I was just talking about was happening, I didn't have the channels that you had to pay for. And there was something really cool about sort of, I don't want to say cool, but like when you didn't have a lot of choices, in terms of your channels, and then all of a sudden on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night on ITV, as the channel was, other TV channels are available, but on Tuesday or Wednesday night you could sit down and watch, like, you know, Barcelona versus Bayern Munich or something like that. And that was, you know, that was really, really cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, not all the matches were amazing, but I'm sure that Lampard stuff I was talking about with Frisk, I'm sure that was just on ITV, although I'm starting to think it wasn't actually. I'm not 100% sure now. But I think it probably was. I honestly can't remember. I remember the Barcelona-Chelsea game at Stamford Bridge where I think Chelsea went 3-0 up in about 15 minutes, and then Ronaldinho woke up and scored that ridiculous... Well, I say ridiculous. He scored that goal where he just basically, like, did a samba on the edge of the area, and then just toe poked it in, and Petr Cech didn't even dive for it. He just kind of did that thing goalkeepers do when they just leaned towards the ball and it just went in the bottom corner. Remember that being on ITV, and then... in fact, I think, was that the second leg of that tie that I was talking about with Frisk? Because they seem to face each other. They seem to face each other. I think they faced each other in back-to-back years. That 04-05 season. That was the one. That was the one I was. That was nice. That was the one I was talking about. With the the Ronaldinho jiggy thing, and Chelsea. I think Chelsea eventually won. I think Chelsea won that game 4-2, so they went through. I'm sure Barca won the first leg 2-1 with the Lampard lob goal, and then the second leg was 4-2. Is that Castillo again? That's Jermaine. I was going to say, you know what? I was going to say is that Jermaine Defoe, but I didn't. So anyway, yeah. And then the second leg was 4-2. So at 3-2 down, Barca were going through on away goals, I think. And I can't remember. Was it Damien Duff or something like that? Or did he get the first one? I can't remember. Anyway, there was that game, and then the next year they played each other again because I think Barca won at Stamford Bridge because I think that I think Samuel Eto'o scored and Lionel Messi was accused of getting Azia Del Horno. Anyone remember him? Azia Del Horno sent off. I think he made a bit of a meal out of a challenge. I mean, it was a poor, it was a foul. Like, I think he made a bit of a meal out of it. Did a few like little rolls over, and the Chelsea guys weren't happy and thought he got them sent off. Thought he got Del Horno sent off, and I think that was. It seems like Barcelona getting revenge. That was Barcelona went on to win the tournament that year. I think it was the year that they beat Arsenal in the final. I had to believe that Arsenal in that run. I don't think they conceded a goal in the knockout stages apart from in the final. I remember one Roman Riquelme missing a penalty. I remember watching that on the free TV channel I was talking about. Yeah, it was 0. Yeah, they won the first leg at Highbury 1-0, and the second leg in I can't remember what's Villarreal's ground called? Is it El Madrigal? I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, yeah, they got a late penalty, and Jens Lehmann saved Riquelme. And Jens Lehmann saved it. Pellegrini was in charge of Villarreal for that. I do remember that quite vividly. And I remember watching the final as well. When Sol Campbell put them in front. And then obviously eventually after the red card, I think they just ran out of legs, to be honest. And once Eto'o equalised, there was only ever going to be one winner. But yeah, so I do. Long story short. Well, I say long story short. It's a bit late now because it's already been a long story, but yeah, I do kind of agree with that. That in some ways, although it's nice to have the choice to be able to watch all these matches, it did feel a bit special when you were like, you didn't get to see it as often, and then all of a sudden, like I said, on just a random Wednesday night, you could go and watch. Well, I'd say go and watch. You could just sit at home and watch, a fantastic game like that. They moved the final of the Champions League used to be on a midweek as well. I think the last time it was on a midweek was. I think it was 2009. That was the last one I can remember watching on a Wednesday. It was Barcelona winning it in Rome. And then the year after 2010, it was Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. I'm sure that was on a Saturday. I'm sure it was. I can see why they moved it, to be fair, but yeah, I can see why they moved it, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not as bothered about that, but yeah, the Wednesday night stuff was pretty cool. Anyway, so the Pride. So it looks like, is that John Terry? The number 60 there on the end, and is that Petr Cech in goal? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. We'll certainly find out who the goalkeeper is when we score past him. Quite appropriate it is Petr Cech and John Terry, given the badge has got a lion on it of this team. I honestly cannot remember this venue. Okay, if it is Petr Cech, then he needs to... No, it's Jens Lehmann. Well, I want to say... Actually, we've already played against Petr Cech, haven't we, I think? I wouldn't have got Jens Lehmann. He can save a one Roman Riquelme penalty, but he can't save an Alessandro Nesta shot from the halfway line, which is quite interesting. Yeah, I think we've already played against Petr Cech, actually, so that was a bit of a stupid thing to say. Yeah, the whole Super League thing. I mean, I said earlier about, well, I've got some opinions that aren't very popular. The only reason I'm saying that is because, like I said, I just don't... You know what, if people do watch this video, I don't like what I say, then that fine, whatever. But I just don't really get the outpour. I don't really understand why everyone's losing their mind about it. That's the only thing for me. I don't really. That's the thing I don't get. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but there's far worse things going on in football and the world. But like, the world. Let's just park that for now. But there's far worse things. Not far worse, but there's worse things going on in football that no one really cares about. And yet, what competition a team plays and everyone's losing their mind about it. I mean, I just don't quite get it. I just don't get where the priorities are. That was a nice little goal. I couldn't really miss from there. For example, when this doesn't, don't get me wrong, this doesn't happen very often, which is probably why it's not as much of an issue. But like when a coach arrives at a ground and it gets attacked, or with the players either on it, or it gets vandalised when the players aren't on it, for me, that's worse. That's worse than what competition a team plays in, because that's actually when the players are on the bus. Don't get me wrong, this doesn't happen very often. I'm not saying it does, but when the players are on the bus, you know, you've got people's lives and health at line, and that's more important to me than what competition they're about to go and play in. But you know, maybe I'm wrong on that one. Maybe I'm just maybe I don't care enough. I don't know, or maybe I'm too soft. Or possibly both, to be honest with you. But yeah, anyway, so that's my opinion on that. And also, one thing I do find a bit baffling, and I may be missing the point here with this, with what I'm about to say, but I've seen some people say, well, fans won't want to watch. Let's say you support Tottenham. Fans won't want to watch Tottenham playing Real Madrid every week or Barcelona every week. Well, that's a load of rubbish, because I mean, that's a lot of rubbish, because if you went up to a Tottenham fan and said, right, I've got two match tickets here, I'm going to give you one of them, just let me know which one you want. So I've got this ticket here for a home game against Fulham, or I've got this ticket here for a home game against Bayern Munich, which one do you want? And whichever one you want, you can just have it for free. Which Tottenham fan's going to say, oh, I'll have the Fulham ticket, please? So, in that sense, why would you... So in that sense, how can you then say you wouldn't want to watch? Do you know what I mean? That just seems contradictory to me. Although, having said that, the fact that teams like Tottenham, I'm not picking on Tottenham. Even teams that are in the Champions League have been in the Champions League more regularly than Tottenham. Like if you support Bayern Munich, who are pretty much guaranteed to qualify every year, then, you know, maybe playing a team like Paris Saint-Germain, because it doesn't happen every week, it then makes it feel more special. So I understand that sense. So, you know, you play a team like Eintracht Frankfurt every year. With all due respect to Eintracht Frankfurt, it's probably not going to get the pulse racing as much as a game against Real Madrid would be. But I suppose if you're playing Real Madrid, you know, I suppose it's diminishing returns, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the point on that one. Anyway, it's the last friendly. Well, that's a shame, because I'm spouting rubbish that no one will agree with. So, up against the Bulldogs. I did actually have one more point I wanted to make about that. Although, like I said, by the time this video gets onto YouTube, by the time I've actually edited it and uploaded it, I think this issue will have died off pretty quick. You know, let's play Manish and Trezeguet, why not? They haven't played yet. Let's give them a run out. Okay, let's go. So Manish playing against his fellow countrymen. Haven't got a quiz question for this episode. So that's good. Well, it's not good, to be fair. That's bad, actually. It's the complete opposite of good. Yeah, yeah, like I said, by the time this gets onto YouTube, that Super League will be a long forgotten. It'll either be long forgotten, or Or they'll be halfway through the first season of it. And we're 1-0 down already. The rare occasion we've actually gone behind. And it's Jose Reyes. No jokes about him. So, or inappropriate comments. Because it wasn't. Anyway, yep. So, Jose Reyes 1-0. Really good save. Now, I need to wake up here. Maybe dropping the players I've dropped wasn't a good idea. Come on, Manish. Dear, I think Trezeguet is going to be the next one to maybe be replaced. Oh dear, 2-0 now. We need to wake up here. This isn't good. Juan Carlos Valeron. What a forgotten gem he was. This isn't good actually. We need to wake up here. Come on, Trezeguet. Oh, what a lovely finish that was. What a Trezeguet. It's like David Trezeguet until he scored in the Euro 2000 final. I remember him scoring for Monaco against a team that play in the. I remember him scoring for Monaco away from home against a team that play in the northwest of England, and yeah, that was a fantastic goal. That unfortunately wasn't. Right, I really can't afford to go 3-1 down here, so we need to just wake up. There was one more point I was going to make about the Super League. What was it now? I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, that was it. So I think the main reason people don't like it is because it takes away the competition element of football. Well, you know what I would say about that is. What I would say about that is the halves. How many times in football? Why are you running away from the ball? What is going on here? Right, okay, this needs to stop now. What the hell was that nonsense that just happened there? Yeah, one thing I would say about that is, how many times do and yes, it does happen. Occasionally it happens. And when it does happen, you know, everybody, well, I say everybody, most people like it. But when do the have-nots, what a great goal that was. When do the have-nots beat the haves? And yeah, I suppose what you could turn around and say, well, it's true it's true this. I'm not making this point very well, but basically, I suppose what I'm saying is, people are moaning that it's just like, well, it's just the rich having the plaything or whatever. But you know, whenever there's financial inequality to the level that it is, you know, don't get me wrong, I like Manchester City, and I'm glad that. Well, when Sheikh Mansour came in, I wasn't complaining, don't get me wrong, but, you know, at the end of the day, the only reason Manchester City are where they are is because of money. There's no other reason. And yeah, teams like Leicester, when they did what they did, yes, it can happen. But the fact it's made such a big deal of when it does happen tells you how often it happens. What was I saying about wasting game breakers earlier? So yeah, I get the point that if you have this Super League, that, you know, the Leicester stuff and all that can't happen anymore. But it doesn't happen that often anyway. And if it's about killing football or the romance of it or whatever, well, it's pretty much on life support anyway. Because at the end of the day, you know, how many Bundesliga titles? Oh, for Pete's sake, how did that go in? How many Bundesliga titles do? You know, who seriously thinks that Bayern Munich aren't going to win the Bundesliga? You know, Paris Saint-Germain. I'm not criticising these teams, but Paris Saint-Germain. This match really needs to end quickly, preferably with me winning it. Paris Saint-Germain. I will finish this story. I think they're joint. I think they've got joint the most amount of titles in Ligue 1 history at the minute, and they might, to be fair, this is a bad example because they might not win it this year because Lille are doing really well, and by the time this video comes out, we'll know if they have or not. I'm getting a bit. This match is actually really getting on my nerves. I don't know why it's annoying me so much. What are you doing, Casillas? Very good. I think it's annoying because I can't win the ball back. Like when I don't have the ball, I mean, can you actually tackle any of these players? Is it possible to tackle one of them? Yeah, Paris Saint-Germain joint most, and I think the vast majority of those titles have been won in the last decade. i.e., you know, after the you know, the Qatari takeover. So all this stuff about, you know, killing football and nonsense and romance and, you know, equality, all this other nonsense, it's long gone. Trust me, it's long gone. I don't know how much Neymar gets paid, but I imagine, I don't think it's a stretch to say Neymar gets paid more than an entire squad of some of the lower end some of the lower end French teams. I may be wrong on that one, and I'm not. And again, it's not a criticism. It's just I'm just stating facts. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, or he's not good, or. But you know, it is what I'm saying is romance in football is pretty much a life support already. Super League or no Super League. So that's another point I wanted to make. Anyway, that's by the by. We finally won that match. Thank God that one was over, because that was, I don't know why that was so irritating. Anyway, I think it was because actually, I don't know why it was. Right, so anyway, so that's 4 friendlies down, so we've done that. So in the next part, we're going to do the last 3 friendlies of Barcelona. But for now, we're going to get a new signing for the squad. So let's just go back to the squad. Just remind ourselves of it. So there's me, overall 99, because I'm just amazing, of course. Iker Casillas in goal. So you can see there we've got a shot power specialist in Lampard, tackling in Nesta, shot accuracy in Trezeguet, speed in Manish, and we've got 2 tricksters in Rosicky and JJ Okocha. For Rosicky, I don't know why shot accuracy isn't one of his specialism. I seem to think he had a pretty good strike on him back in the day. Anyway, so that's so basically, I want to make sure we retain at least 1 specialist in each of the skills or the disciplines we're about to call it. So let's have a look. Let's see what players we can get. Let's see what we can get here. Oh, we can go for Rio Ferdinand. I can't think of anyone I'd rather buy. Actually, I can't think of someone I'd rather buy less, but not many people. So you can see there we've got 37,826 skills builds. So if we wanted to, we could spend 12,340 of those and try and sign Deco. Now, if a player says a lock next to their name, it means we can play without spending any skills builds. Now, despite the fact that I don't need to save the skills builds anymore, because I max my stats out, I'm going to stick with the theme that I've done all the way through, and only sign players that I don't have to pay for. So we could sign Rio Ferdinand, but we're not going to do that. So who else can we get? Let's go back to Amsterdam for now. So that's where we got Nesta from, so Rome. Let's have a look at Rome. Oh, we can go for Roberto Carlos. You know what? Is he shot power, though? Because if he is... Yeah, that's annoying, because I don't really want to replace... Quite like Lampard. I think he's doing quite a good job. Puyol, Pires, Vieri. What's Puyol? Is he tackling? Of course he is. What a stupid question that was. I want to mind a Beckham. That would have been a good one. I think Pires has tricks, isn't he? Yeah, so I don't want Pires. Vieri is shot power again, even. I didn't say accuracy then. So Torres is shot accuracy. So I think it's going to be Torres. I was hoping for a speed person. I kind of wanted to replace... Manish. So it's either going to be Roberto Carlos or Fernando Torres. Let's go Fernando Torres because I want to replace... Because if I sign Carlos, I've either got to replace Lampard or Okocha or Rosicky. I want to keep all those. So let's go for... Where is he? Let's go for Torres. And he can replace Trezeguet. So Fernando Torres in his shaven-headed stage, not his long dyed blonde hair stage. And to unlock him, we're going to go for... We're going to go Rosicky and Lampard. I thought Rosicky was decent last time we played him. So we're up against Shea Given, Torres obviously, and 2 others who I should know but I don't. Look like Morientes, the middle one. I don't know if he's on this game. Yeah, maybe I ought to sign some players that you have to pay for. Well, they just keep going for the free transfers. I don't know. Anyway, we're back to Mexico City. Back with the green ball to try and get Fernando Torres. Speaking of Chelsea, he was an interesting time at oh, there we go. Had an interesting time at Chelsea, didn't he? You can call it interesting. Oh, it's Kaka, the guy who I thought was Morientes. Right, 1-0 already, that's not good. Okay. No need for speed. That's a clever name. I like that. What's happened to Iker Casillas? He seems to have. He seems to have turned into Iker Casillas in real life for some reason. We're doing quite a lot to this episode. Or to the last match at least. Anyway. Right, come on. Am I still on this pit? Oh, there I am. I am still available. Okay, so here's a quiz question. We haven't had one yet through on this episode. Let's have one. What was the name of the Japanese team that Fernando Torres signed for? And having thought about it, I actually don't know the answer to that question. So, but we'll go with it anyway. Test your own knowledge. What was the name of the Japanese side that Fernando Torres signed for? I think he played in Japan, didn't he? I'm now starting to, because I don't know who it is, I'm now starting to question that actually happened, but I think it did. I think it was there when Lucas Podolski and David Villa and Andres Iniesta, I think they were all in Japan at the same time. I may be wrong on that one. Good Lucas Podolski. He's had a really interesting career, Lucas Podolski. A very interesting career. Right, come on, Rosicky. No, not this time. Slow, you can crunch somebody in half. Still not score. Shay Given, former Man City alumni. Speaking of Man City, we were talking about them earlier. Ooh, there we go. And another one, Lampard as well. So we turned it round for the second match in a row. We were losing, and now we're winning. Now, will Torres score against us? No, he'll block his own player's shot. So thanks, Fernando. You haven't signed for us yet, but cheers anyway. Ooh, that was nice. Would have been nice if I'd collected the ball. Ah, dear me. Yeah, so Super Leagues, and it's all kicking off at the minute. Also, I like it how people don't. I like it how people don't moan about or don't care about, you know, these pandemic rules when something like that kicks off. And I also like it how TV personalities encourage I don't want to say antisocial behaviour, because that's going a little bit too far, but yeah, I don't know it. There's a lot. I don't know. I seem to think that a lot of my opinions seem to contradict what I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Like I said, by the time this video comes out, I think it'll be long forgotten. One thing I will say though, that I remember when G14 was a thing and no one cared about that, and it did my head in. So you know, maybe that's a bit hypocritical, because if you know what G14 was, it was basically 14 of the Europe's biggest clubs making sure they get what they wanted and protecting themselves. So that was that seemed to disappear. Oh, which is quite exciting. Right, one more goal to go, and then this episode will finally end. My nonsense ramblings will end. Okay, how the hell's he saved that? So that's 2 game breakers in a row wasted. I don't know. One goal to go. Yeah, the game breakers seem to work. Game breakers don't seem to work as well. Oh, what a lovely finish that was. Game breakers don't seem to work as well when you're close range. I think that's probably why. Why they're getting saved. Anyway, that was a nice little finish and a nice little end to a nice little match. And we've now signed Fernando Torres, so he can stand outside the training ground with holding a one-touch scarf above his head. Yes, let's add him to the squad. So unfortunately, David Trezeguet, despite the fact that you started the comeback against that team we're 2-0 down against, can't remember who it was now, you're going to be replaced. I kind of want to get rid of Maniche, to be honest with you, but we do need a speed specialist to replace Maniche. I think he's kind of outlived his usefulness now, unfortunately. He was very good at when we first signed him. Like most players on this game, to be fair, they seem to be really good when you first sign them, but then sort of tail off. Anyway, that was part 1 of Barcelona. So we're going to be moving on in the next episode on to part 2. We're going to be finishing Barcelona off, doing the Rule the Street tournament, and then we've only got one city left to conquer, which is, of course, London. So if you enjoyed this episode, then please like and share the video. You can also leave a comment on the video, should you choose to do that. Yeah, if you want to do that, go for it. If also, while you're here on YouTube, if you head over to the channel, The Space and Commentator, and I don't mean type space, I mean press the space bar, then you'll find the rest of the videos in this playlist. You'll also find plenty of other videos that I've made for you, other games that I've played through. This outro is even worse than the intro was. But join me next time. We're moving on to part number 2 of Barcelona, finishing it off. Then we've only got one city left to do. And then FIFA Street is finally finished. But to get to that point, for now from me, it is sayonara.